All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, donuts and munchkins. Haven't said that in a minute, but we are back. Hope you have been doing awesome because it has been quite a couple minutes, to say the least, since the last podcast of Eat the Donut. So, welcome back to another episode. And I'm kind of calling this like a season two, as it's been, you know, probably almost a year since my last recorded episode. But we have some big news in this episode that we'll get into. Um, as I am now a co-host to the show, so I will have a co-host, and I'm bringing on my first employee. So we should have some fun with that. Don't really know what we're gonna get into as I'm recording this before we actually record the episode, but it's gonna be more of like an intro episode, kind of what the role of each of us will be, not only within the podcast but in business as well. And it's gonna be something that we're still figuring out. But anyways, great to see you. Great to hear from you. Would love to hear back from you. If you need anything, all my stuff will be in the show notes, so you can send me a message, chat with me there. But other than that, let's get into the episode. All right, I gotta go poop real quick. Give me 2 minutes. All right, try talking. Let me hear your mic. Say bing boom bop.
Bing bop, boom bop, bam.
Boo doo da da ga ga doo. All right. We'll edit that.
So, what do you want to talk about today?
So, big gulps, huh? Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I brought my wife on because I can't do it by myself no more.
You need me for everything.
I need you. That's not wrong. That is not wrong. I hate having conversations with myself. Not that I hated it, but I just feel like with our conversations we have behind the scenes that no one sees, brings out another side of me, but also just is good conversation, I think. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say you're a very passionate person.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe sometimes a little too loud and aggressive when you're talking about health and fitness or whatever you're going on. You go on a lot of tangents pretty much every day. That's the benefit of us both working out of one tiny apartment.
Our poor neighbors.
Yeah, sometimes I worry our neighbors think that we're really fighting, but we're really just Kevin's getting passionate about calorie deficits.
Oh my God.
So yeah, why not bring this to a podcast and have some fun with it? Share with your listeners more about you and why you do what you do. And honestly, you wouldn't be anyone or anything without me.
Yeah. That's yeah.
I think I should be here too.
No, I mean to be honest, that's why I brought you on. I think one, you help bring out this side of me that is kind of like that passionate side. I think I just flow better with conversation. I have a hard time because I think I'm overthinking what I'm trying to say and trying to make it sound perfect. Plus, on the other side, like I also know you have good insight on things too and have good perspective and mindset on things as well. So that's what this whole bringing you onto the podcast, and and for the people who just listen to the intro, obviously, like we'll keep this in and everything. But the intro, I was talking about how I'm going to bring a guest on that's going to be a part of this show and just help me provide insights on certain topics. Again, like whether it's today, we're going to probably talk about like our whole method. But Shannon is my first employee I'm bringing on. She is an intern, so she's not getting paid just yet. Just kidding. She's the
CEO.
Yeah, you really are the CEO.
Chief Marketing Officer. Never call me an intern ever again. That's an insult.
Yeah, my
I'm the brains behind the operation.
Yes. So
the grammar police.
Yeah. Oh, the grammar. Shannon is. You want some passion?
It's called this proper grammar in knowing how to spell, but also it's okay. Kevin does have dyslexia, so I do feel bad. Is it dyslexia?
Yeah, dyslexic. Yeah. Okay. Don't feel bad because no, here's the thing, dude. Like, don't give me that credit because like I type things up, I put a post together, I don't edit. I'm like, I just need to get this out. So anytime you guys see any post or newsletter say like the grammar sucks, you'll be like, oh, Shannon definitely didn't edit this one. It's because she didn't. Usually the ones that sound good and look good are the ones she edits. So she's been helping a lot with that just because I am sort of lazy and don't have the patience to just look over things. I just want to get things done. But we're changing that. We're working on that. Anyways.
Before we get dive into this, I think let's just touch on how I've been helping out with KPDFit a little
Sure.
bit more. So
Do you want to talk about
I,
that?
yeah, Kevin started KPDFit in
22.
2022
Yeah.
and decided to go on off on his own. He was a coach. Sorry, am I going down a path you don't want to go down?
No, just riff. Who gives a shit?
Okay. So Kevin was working as an online coach when we moved to San Diego for another coach, Leaner for Life.
Yep.
And that company kind of dissolved. And then that was a good opportunity for Kevin to just go off on his own and be his own coach, not an employee. I supported Kevin in that journey. I'll never forget the video you put together. You
I'm
were
always
being a little
dramatic.
diva with your donuts
I'm
and
like,
like the wigs. And Kevin, just when he has an idea and he wants to accomplish it, you can't stop him. But it was fun to watch, and you took that video so seriously. We honestly should reshare that one day and just. You have some really good old posts that sometimes I'm like, we need to just bring these back up because they're good memories and just show your personality. But my goal and what I've always wanted to do in life is work with Kevin. But that's something that's always been scary for me to say out loud. Like, I know years ago, if people asked me, like, oh, what do you want to do for a career? What do you want to do for a job? I've always looked at my corporate job as just kind of a means to an end. Like, pays the bills, it's stable, that's fine. But is it fulfilling? Is it actually on a topic that I care about and love? No, I've worked in energy efficiency. I've worked in UX, which is a little bit more interesting. I've worked in now financial services. Like those aren't things I'm passionate about. What I am passionate about is what Kevin's doing and helping people and changing lives every day and seeing people heal their relationship with food and fitness. Those are things that just Kevin and I have always bonded over. We've been together 15 years and we love being fit, working out together. Kevin's been my own personal trainer, which I'm very lucky to have, an in-house personal trainer. And he has a very healthy relationship with food. And I just think we have a good relationship with,
yeah, no.
I mean, and then the donuts. I mean,
We both
we have
love
a good
donuts.
balance.
No, I
And
think, sorry to interrupt
I'm
you.
going to take over your podcast.
Yeah, you're just like rambling on.
This is my podcast now.
This is eat Shannon's donut. That sounds a little weird, but no, like I think to be honest, like I think you have a way better relationship with food than I do. I think you always
Yeah,
have.
should.
Yeah, you totally do. Like you've always never felt any, maybe not never is the right way, but like you've always been very strong and like, yeah, I'm gonna have a fucking donut if I want a donut. And you're not
Yeah.
on the other side of like being a complete asshole where it's like, yeah, I'm eating fucking 12 donuts every single day and doing this
Yeah.
like, on the extreme side. You're very good, something probably we'll talk about a little bit later in this episode, but like you're very much a good definition of like what the Goldilocks zone is because you do take care of your shit. You're an incredible runner. You do the weightlifting. We do this high rocks training now. Like you take care of your fitness. You're a very active person. You get like 15,000 steps a day and it's like a low day for you. Like you love your walks. You do a very strong side of that. Nutritionally, same thing. Like you do have your protein, you do eat your fruits and vegetables, but like you do like your sweet treat each day as well. But like you're also healthy. Like it's
Yeah.
you looking at you, we know you're healthy. I think you also experiencing like the people I've coached, my own experience to be honest, like some of the things we see here in San Diego on the other side of extreme, where it's like, the people I coach are the people who will have the cookies and then have 20 more. But the people in San Diego, I'm not saying this is everyone, some people will have the cookie and have to run 10 miles. Like that's not
Yeah.
healthy either. So it's been
Yeah.
interesting since we've moved here to San Diego, as I've always been working with one side to actually see the other side. And to be honest, I've been on both sides myself, but it's interesting
Yeah.
to see it a little bit more in the environment. So I think just coming out together, you get in this whole experience and growing your passion more and more and being like, wow, there is this happy medium that I see because I see also people struggle with both that I want to help find something in the middle for everyone as well. So whatever that looks like, we don't actually know what this is going to look like in the end. We just know we want to
Yeah.
start here and have conversations about it and sort of just like I said earlier, like riff on it and kind of go from there.
Yeah. I think what I've learned, I've been working in marketing and corporate for the last 10 years. And I think even as like, not to get so like big picture, but I think our generation is looking at our careers a lot differently.
Hmm.
The playbook that our parents had isn't exactly the same. It's not just like go to college, get a great job, and you'll be able to buy a house and like accomplish all these things. Like we're looking for a little bit more passion behind what we do and what's going to get us out of bed every morning. What kind of like, where do we see ourselves besides sitting in a cubicle in order to retire and then like never travel or see anything? I think us moving to San Diego is that big leap that we took of just, I don't know what's going to look on the other side of this, but why not, you know? And it's paid off so much for us in the long run that I've noticed the more I take a chance on myself and take those chance or take a risk,
Yeah.
it always pays off. You're going to learn something along the way, and just staying in the current path. If you're feeling stuck, it's like that's when changes need to be made, and that's kind of where I've been feeling in my current job. So I think adding more energy into helping you grow this with the social media, the podcast, this stuff all excites me and I find it a lot of fun.
Mhm.
So I think I'm just giving more energy to it and leaning in that direction.
Yeah, I think you're at a place now where I was 10 years ago.
Oh,
Um,
you're so ahead of me, honey.
I'm full of wisdom, honey. I'm an old
Yeah,
soul.
10 years ago.
Back in my day, when I was dealing with this
You
thing,
did hit the point right
hit it
after you
early.
graduated, though.
I got very lucky. Like, not that I was lucky because like I'm still grinding. This is not easy shit. I wish I had more stability in this and that, but like,
Yeah,
but also the trade-offs. Life's just a bunch of trade-offs at the end of the day. There's no
yeah,
solutions, only trade-offs to things. But like I am in a position where it's all right, I was living at home, just graduated college. I worked in corporate for a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and I quit that to become an intern. All right, I didn't have rent I needed to pay. I was paying my mom like $200 a month. I got a part-time job at Lululemon, which was technically full time. Their full time was like 30, 24 hours or 30 hours or something nice. I was like, this is great. But anyways, was working there and was able to pay what, like my phone bill and my car insurance. Like that's all I had to
yeah,
worry about. It's not like I had rent to pay or kids to worry about or like all these things. Like I didn't have a lot of responsibilities. And so I took it at a time and I just, well, I'm doing this. And for you, it's just like, all right, you were into what you were doing in a sense or felt comfortable. You were more on the side of like having that stability and growing in corporate to a point of like, holy shit, do I have to do this for the next 40 years? And it's like, I also want to have a little bit more purpose. Maybe I don't want to speak for you, but now you're just in a point where it's like for you to make this change. All right, we live in San Diego, so it's not the cheapest place in the world. So yes, we have rent to pay for, we have bills we have to take care of, like all these things that we have a lot more responsibilities. So it's not going to look the same, but doesn't mean it's impossible we can't do it. But that's why we're taking action towards it now. Like that's why we're doing
yeah,
something about it. And worst comes to worst, in a year or two, if this is like, hey, I fucking hate it, cool, we can go back. At
yeah,
the end of the day, it's we'll try it, we hate it, we suck at it, whatever the reasons are. Who gives a shit? Might as well try it and see. It's better to know and have not liked it to like never know and regret, in my opinion. So,
yeah. I agree. I think more of us need to realize that was like our move. It's like, if we don't like it, you move back. Like Massachusetts isn't going anywhere. Our family isn't going anywhere. And if we leave San Diego, same thing. It's not going anywhere. And yeah, we have bills and we're in our 30s and there's things to be concerned about. But I also think we have a solid foundation and I feel good about like the last 10 years, what I decided to do. But then you look at the next 30 and you're like, I don't know if I can do that
yeah.
anymore. So we'll see. But then on the flip side too, like we don't have kids yet. We don't have a dog.
I want a
These
dog. We
things
want
that like
two dogs, but
I know these things that we do want in the future. We're kind of in that weird middle ground where it's like, when do you start to do those things? Like, okay, let's just travel a bit more while we have this flexibility and we
yeah.
have this, extra
Mhm.
income. We're in our dink era. So
Yeah.
we're in an interesting period of life and our main responsibility is training for high rocks.
I know. Like that's what we train for high rocks and continue to work on the business,
Yeah.
which is nice, we're very grateful for. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Like I was saying for the intro, like Shannon's the new CEO of the company. As you've seen probably some of my social media, which if you don't follow me on Instagram or any of my social media, it's very easy. It's just at kpd.fit. But you can see like we're getting back to doing a little bit more of like the lighthearted stuff, some funny stuff, some goofy stuff, some things together because There was a time back when I first started my own business and even first started social media, I was just like trying to be entertaining and funny. And then I had a couple posts blow up where they had millions of views and grew my account to like 15,000. And then all of a sudden, like that, I was talking to people like, "Oh, I just think you're funny. Oh, I just think you're funny." I was like, "Oh, no one takes me serious." And as one of my insecurities is not being respected, I sort of switched my social media to be very educational and not entertaining. Like there was moments of still being
Yeah.
entertaining and funny, but I think that hurt me in a way because then I was showing up as someone that I wasn't fully me because I like being silly and goofy and providing like
Yeah.
a smile to someone's face and just having fun with it that I think it hurt me. And so like my social media stuff, engagement went way down for like 2.5 years. And then we're like, we got to go back into being silly and goofy. And the engagement's creeping back up. It's still improvement to be done, but like at least it's better. Obviously from signs of that. And one thing I was going to say earlier, in a way, Shannon has made me a little woo-woo. Not that you're super woo-woo or anything, but we have this belief of like believing in this thing bigger than ourselves, right? We're the universe. Let's think about like the universe sends a sign, the universe gives us information that we can listen to. And so, an example of this is I was at a corporate job when I was building my business. Obviously, it's tough to build a business. You don't become an overnight success overnight. Unfortunately, it takes probably 10, 20, 30 years. But I worked for a corporate gym, went back to work there part time, and that was burning me out, right? Remember that? I was there for like 6 to 7 months,
Yeah.
and it's starting to hurt me in what I was doing with my business that I wanted to be my full time thing. So it was taking energy and time and away from that, where I probably wasn't even fulfilling my current clients well because I was so drained from it. But what happened was I was like, all right, I have to risk it. I have to leave it. Like I'm in an okay spot with the clients I have and what I'm doing. And leaving was just like, all right, this is obviously gonna mean we gotta kind of budget down a little bit more. But I left, and then all of a sudden that next week I gained 5 clients and I got an in-person client. And that was the moment I was always like rolled my eyes at like the universe. What's that documentary we watched?
The
Uh,
secret.
The Secret, where if you just believe it, like you can get it.
Yeah.
You can. I'm like, there's got to be action in there. But that was the moment where I was like, holy shit, I
Yeah.
think this is a sign. I think
Yeah.
this is a sign from the universe saying, like, hey, you're gonna be okay. You made the right decision. And now like go get after it and put like the work into your business. So I like that side of that stuff. But what I'm saying for you is you currently working in marketing and you do enjoy marketing, I believe. And so I think this is just the universe saying, like, hey, you need to put this work into these different areas of marketing and learn all these different skills for the business in a sense. And now we're
Yeah.
starting to apply it. And obviously, like, you're doing the social media stuff, newsletters, you're teaching me and helping me to like market if I launch something. So I think that's just another, hey, you were supposed to go through this path because of
Yeah.
this reason. Maybe it's too much woo. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass, but like I like the way to think about that because I think it also keeps you in a positive headspace rather than like such a negative victim mentality.
Well, and I think anyone that's been in corporate like me for 10 years has probably gone down the path where you're like, oh, I kind of want to blow up my entire career. Am I in the wrong? Should I just go a completely different path? A lot of people change careers in their 30s. They realize, what I went to school for or college, I definitely, looking back, I think fine. Marketing was always going to probably be my route. But I remember at one point I almost went into exercise science.
Yeah,
And I was like,
good.
oh, those classes are going to be too hard. Like, and now looking back, I'm like, I could have done that. I just didn't believe in myself, and that would have took me down a different path and whatever. But I think when you're younger and you're choosing what school to go to and what classes to take, you're still really, you don't know who you are yet. And I think
No,
like I've done so much growing up. I think after you turn 26, 27, your frontal lobe like actually develops and you start to like actually understand yourself a bit more and what you like and what you're good at. And I think that's a lifelong journey, but
totally.
I don't think I'm too far off the path. Like I don't feel like I need to blow up my entire life and I'm not meant for a marketing career. It's just kind of closing in exactly on how and what that looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't know you were done.
no, you go. I don't even know where I'm fucking going with this.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, we could have a whole probably discussion on college, which is like, I think people again go to both extremes where they'll be like, oh, college is pointless. But also it's not. Like, I think it teaches a lot as far as like discipline, structure, organization. Obviously, if you have a career, as far as like maybe being a doctor, lawyer, nurse, even exercise science would have been helpful for me. I went to school for business. I also, as you know, am dyslexic and just cheated my way through most of it because I don't want to study and I didn't like school and I basically, not to say the school system failed me, but like I didn't know how to learn. Like I just didn't. But like in college that time too, as you're a college athlete as well, way better athlete than I am. But like that taught me a lot of things about how much I did love fitness. I was playing baseball at the time, but I loved training way more. And that's,
Yeah.
from young age, being a chubby little lubber, helped me kind of build my confidence in a sense. And obviously that takes time. But you're right. People how do you know what you want to do when you're 18? I'm still like figuring out who I am.
Yeah.
I think most people as adults don't even know who they are. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people need probably a little bit more help and a little bit more deep diving as far as figuring out what lights them up, what triggers them. They're AKA just going to therapy. Not that I'm saying everyone has to go to therapy, but I think it'd be a good idea for people to do for at least 1 year of their life because you could
Yeah.
figure out a lot and create more awareness. You can be like, oh, I'm triggered. Yeah, this used to happen in my childhood. And I can understand why that triggers me now because that pissed me off then, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, I know we're doing a lot of talking here. I do want to kind of talk about, if you're cool with it, unless you have any other ideas or any points you wanted to chat about.
Let's take a few steps back. I want to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
This is for people that are just getting to know you, or maybe they've seen your content for a long time. Can you just give a quick overview of what KPD Fit is and what your Goldilocks approach is and how you
Sure.
approach coaching?
Yeah, so KPD Fit is me. I am KPD, Kevin Patrick Driscoll. So who I am someone who is probably going through the same shit you're going through if you are a yo-yo dieter, which means like you've lost and regained the same weight over and over and continue to struggle with that. I've done the keto diet. I've done 2 days at the gym, extra cardio, all the trendy diets, all the trendy supplements. I did fat loss supplements. I even drank 6 to 10 bags of green tea a day, thinking that would ignite my metabolism and help my me lose body fat. So I get it. Like I get wanting to try the things that will be kind of like what I call like shortcuts today or help assist with weight loss. And whether it's because you don't want to deal with the reality that it is nutrition going to be the driver with your training and movement and stuff like that, but I feel like for a majority of you who are listening to this are the people who I help me. I help younger Kevin because like the whole thing was my relationship with food. That was my biggest struggle. I viewed foods as good or bad. So when I had the cookie, I was the person that had 10 of the cookies. And then on Monday, I was the person who punished myself for doing all that and would work out in the morning and then, do all the cardio at night or whatever my plan was. I just was the extremes on both ends. That's what I was kind of talking about earlier. I was you, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
that's who I help because I also woke up every single day mentally trapped, worrying about my nutrition, worrying about my body, worrying about my health and fitness, and felt that my whole worth was that. And since I was chubby, I feel like I had no worth, or I felt so much guilt and shame because of it. I've been on the other side where I lost a bunch of weight and got decently lean for myself and I still wasn't happy. Why? Because I just wasn't fulfilled. I was always trapped. So one of the phases in my program is called a freedom phase. It's the last phase of the program, but it's because like we want to get to a point where we just feel mentally free. I'm not saying voices are going to go away, but I think the reality is your voices are so loud right now of the self-talk or the food noise or whatever that we're just quiet, making them more quiet. We're going to quiet them down quite a bit. And that's what luckily I've been able to do for myself in my own journey with help. And that's what I just want to provide for other people. Is just to not be in this mental trap of feeling guilty and shame for enjoying life. But also, yes, on the other side, let's take care of our shit. Like we want to live a long, healthy life. I've worked with people who have gotten their quality of life taken away right? I've worked with people who had cystic fibrosis, had a double lung transplant, and had a hard time getting up and down from the ground. I've seen people at the gym who had strokes and couldn't do anything without assistance. And one of the best quotes I heard from this was during a kettlebell certification or a barbell certification, but like as a coach, one of our jobs is to give our clients the ability to wipe their ass on the last day of life. Like again, whether you have six pack or not, that's your choice if you want it, but we want to have you have the ability to move in a way that you can take care of your life and your quality of life is high, but also again in a way that you enjoy it. So this whole Goldilocks method actually comes from conversations with my therapist with many different areas of my life, right? I think we all know the Goldilocks story, but just to re-explain it if you haven't heard it, Goldilocks is this character who is by them. I don't know the actual, I guess, details of the story, but I just know she walks into this house. There's three porridges on the kitchen table, and she takes a bite of one. One was too hot. She didn't like that one. She goes to the next one. One was too cold. She goes to the third one. That was just right. She does the same thing, goes to the three beds in the bedroom and goes, this bed's too hard. She moves to the next one. This bed's too soft. Moves to the third one. This bed's just right. So I took that. I mean, I learned it because with my therapy, it was kind of behind like having boundaries, having with whether it's with my relationship with alcohol, with
Hmm.
it whether it's socially, where I'm
Hmm.
able to find that just right zone
Yeah.
that feels good for me, where I can feel good about my drinking and not feel guilty and shame because of it. And it's not impacting other areas of my life. Socially, it's where I can show up as a friend and be 100% myself and not be draining or feel drained because of all the socialness we do. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So I took that. I'm like, this is actually perfect for what I do for fitness because we are trying to find the just right zone, the Goldilocks zone with your health and fitness, where it's you're healthy, you're living a healthy life, but you're also enjoying it as well. And that's going to be like, yes, maybe it requires you losing 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds because we need to get you healthy. But we're also going to find that balance, that balance maybe isn't the right word, but like that harmony of
Yeah.
you still being able to be like, hey, Travis, it's your kid's birthday. Eat the fucking cake on the birthday. Because it's
Yeah.
not one day, one night, one meal that's ever made or ruined anyone's progress, right? And I think so many people have just been caught up again, and this was myself included, with whether it's other coaches or the marketing out there or just living in this extreme world or all or nothing, that they've conditioned themselves to be this all or nothing or think that they have to be perfect and all these things. When it's like the reality is like, no, you don't have to be perfect. We just have to care and be consistent. And we got to be able to also be okay that it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen. You're going to make great progress. It just might take some time.
I love that. I love the Goldilocks approach because this also, like you said, it's in therapy. It's finding that like it's not balanced, but it's just like the approach that works best for you. It's fitness is that it's like sometimes you're doing more damage by saying, I'm gonna cut out all sugar and no
Yeah,
carbs and no donuts and I don't eat dessert. And it's like that's worse than just having the actual donut because you're gonna sit up at night thinking about it and it's gonna ruin
totally.
your day. And you know what? Then by the time you do allow yourself, you go crazy and you go over the top and you have three donuts because you didn't just allow yourself that bite or two that would have got that craving,
Yeah, totally.
satisfied that
Exactly.
craving.
Exactly. Right. Like if you try to white knuckle it, eventually we're going to snap. It just
Yeah.
look at the data of your life. If you're listening to this, like you try to hold off and not have the thing you're telling yourself not to have. What happens? You have it on Friday, then you have 20 fucking more of it. And that
Yeah.
throws you over your calories. And then also what's happening is you're telling yourself on Monday you're going to restart. So you say, fuck it, I'm going to go absolutely fucking banana pants on Saturday and Sunday. And then
Yeah.
we just continue that cycle for 52 weeks a year for the last 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting. But like again, I think that comes from one, obviously the conditioning they've had in their life from it, whether it's from their family or from marketing or just the way they thought about things. And it's just not that way, right? It's just not that way.
Ask you a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So how did you eventually get to the Goldilocks zone in your own life? Because like you said, I remember when you graduated college you didn't have probably like the healthiest relationship with dieting and food. I think that's when you started just like working out a ton and like maybe restricting. And then after college, you work a full-time job, and a lot of people gain weight because they're not as active.
Yeah.
You sit at a desk, you commute an hour both ways. It's such a different lifestyle from being like a college athlete to just working a full-time job. I think we all have that adjustment. So when did it all switch for you, and when did you
Yeah.
find, because I actually don't know.
No, yeah. I don't know the exact date of it. I just know it's from let me kind of start. So yes, in college, that was probably my biggest yo-yo because that's when I started training, right? When I started lifting, I made results and I built muscle and all this stuff. But how it worked is I would party my face off during the year, and then I would overly restrict every summer. So I'd put on like 20-ish pounds or so during the school year, but then lose 20 to 25 pounds in the summer to get as lean as possible through like, we'd go to like Plum Island in the North Shore and like I wouldn't drink. Or I wouldn't have dessert. Or I would and I feel guilty and I make sure I do like 2 days the next day. I make
Yeah.
sure I'd work out every day on vacation in an extreme way, or I'd be like in a bad mood if I didn't. Like it was kind of
Yeah.
manipulating relationships even. So during college is when I really started to yo-yo, where it's like, all right, school year, we party hard, don't give a shit. Summer, overly restricting, never found the balance between the two. And then once I graduated school, that's when eventually I got to my heaviest. I got to like 238, I think was my heaviest. And at the time I was like, oh, I'm bulking. I'm bulking. I'm just putting on muscle. I'm like, you're like, Kev,
Yeah.
you're eating 2 burritos a day with nachos every single time. I'm like, that's like 2 days of your calories. So it was just a justification for me. Like it was an excuse for me to just eat as what I wanted because I was pretending I was bulking. By the way, when you're bulking, you don't put on 20 pounds in a month. That's just not gonna happen. I lost my neck completely. I remember there's a photo out there of me just having like no neck, no chin, just being absolutely a beefcake. But yeah, stepped on the scale, it was like 237, 238. And then as actually when we were going to Fort Lauderdale for spring break, is your senior year, I was graduated at this point. But that's when I did like a cut again, got really restrictive. And then, so basically, to answer your question, is when I started coaching, my good friend, our good friend Steve Shepard, introduced me to this guy, Gary V, and his trainer was Jordan Syatt. And so I
Got
I started looking at Gary Vee stuff, but also I was like, oh, Jordan Syatt is this trainer because Gary Vee is very good mindset stuff. That's what I loved at the time is like, how to be more disciplined, how to be more like motivated, all these things. But also looking at Jordan stuff was just like it felt like he was talking directly to me
Yeah.
in a way of like, hey, did a donut ever make you fat? Oh yeah, no. He's like, no, just like a workout never made you skinny and jacked. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good point. I'm like, oh my God, he's like saying things that literally are like me.
Resonate.
He's like, stop letting one meal or one thing or one moment completely throw you off, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I was just like, holy shit, I can have pizza and lose weight. And then what like happened was I actually went to lose weight. I went to like a cut for 8 weeks and going through the information he told me and actually applying it of like because I was gonna count I did count my calories and I was like, oh, I'm eating this pizza. I had drinks this weekend. I was doing all these things. I was still eating very nutritious, getting all my
Right.
protein, working out probably 5, 6 times a week, getting my steps in, sleeping really well. But I was being still flexible. But it's almost that permission that he gave me just lifted this weight off my chest. And he has one thing he always said, which I used to say for a while as well, is like the first step you have to do before losing weight is give yourself permission to eat whatever you want. The moment
Mm.
you don't and you start to restrict things, it's only going to add more pressure to you. So, like we were talking about earlier, I'm going to white knuckle not having the cookie, the donut, or the pizza to
Yeah.
eventually I'm going to have all the cookies, the donuts, and the pizzas. It was like that moment that really made a big switch where it's, oh, I had 2 slices of pizza. I'm good. I don't need any more. Where beforehand, I'm like, I had 2 slices of pizza. I ruined it. I'm going to keep going because I'm telling
Yeah.
myself I can never eat this food again next week. So might as well just keep this party going. So yeah, obviously like seeing his content, joining his inner circle, working, not, I didn't work directly with him, but applying the information I was learning from him was a huge difference. And that was, he was my mentor at one point. We've connected a bunch, but it's just, what he did for me is what I want to do for other people. Because I
Love that.
also, like I was saying before, is like, it's a exhausting lifestyle being trapped in this every morning you're waking up just making every decision based on your fitness or not making the decision and feeling guilty because of it. It's either gonna like this is what's gonna determine my mood. And it's
Yeah.
to live in. And I feel for it and I just don't want people to feel that way anymore.
I love all of that. And it's funny because I didn't know kind of where the shift happened, but now, I mean, obviously Jordan's diet, he is
He's the best.
basically what's the,
The goat.
the greatest of all time. He's the goat of like fitness and helping people. I was going to say, I give anyone that's on this journey a lot of credit because food is a part of our everyday life. We need food to live and survive. And it's not something you can avoid. And building a healthy relationship with food and fitness, I feel like, is one of the most important things you can do in your life. And I think obviously financial fitness is another bucket, and then like relationships. But if you don't have your health, you can't have anything else. Nothing else in life is as important as taking care of your health and building that healthy relationship with food and fueling your body and not restricting. So that's why I truly believe in everything that you're doing and helping people with, because it's something you face every single day and you can't avoid it, because those red flags and those signs and the caution lights will turn on if you're not taking care of it.
Yeah, totally. What's the saying? I think like health is many areas of life. It's like you said, I think there's our physical health, our mental health, our relationship, social health. I think they all are very important. One thing you said is like, yeah, we have 99 problems, and then we lose our health and we have one problem.
Yeah.
I forget what the exact saying is. Like
Yeah.
we have 99 dreams, but then we lose our health. We have one dream, or one. Oh, we have
Yeah.
99 hopes. I forget whatever it is. The hopes,
That
dream.
is it. It's yeah. If without your health, you can't have anything else.
Yeah, you're just restrictive. Like you could be limited is a better way to say it, I think.
Yeah.
So totally. All right. I think that was good unless you had anything else to add to that. I
No,
think
I'm good.
this is getting pretty long, so I think we're gonna close out here. Well, I appreciate you all checking in, listening in on this. Welcome to Shannon's first episode. How you feeling after one episode?
This is fun. I love it.
It is. It is fun. I'm gonna enjoy this quite a bit. I feel like we said this early on, but the conversation started flowing. I feel like we probably could have talked for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, but I don't want to make these podcasts 2 to 3 hours long. We're not Joe Rogan yet, so we'll keep them short-ish and sweet. But thank you for everyone for tuning in. If you have any questions, if you need anything, want to reach out, you can send me an email. It's pretty simple, kpd@kpd.fit. You can go in on Instagram at kpd.fit. Chen, do you want to share your handle?
No, just go to KPDFit.
All right, just go to KPD. She's on my handle already. Anyway, so if you need anything, reach out. We will see you in the next one.
Bye.